Welcome to Projects for All. My name's Mike, and today I've got Bauer's brand spanking new router table to check out. This is 32 by 16, does not include a router, although it will fit any of the routers available at Harbor Freight. So the Bauer, the Hercules, and I believe the other one's the Drill Master. So let's get this out of the box, we'll put it together, we'll see the initial quality, and see how it goes together. Yes, this box is freaking destroyed, but it doesn't look like anything was damaged inside. And I had to drive pretty far to get this one. These things are kind of hard to come by. At least they were a month or so ago when I bought this. So come on in here, let's check this thing out. Yeah, this is actually the way I bought this thing. T-slot for mounting feather boards. Vacuum port accommodates 1 1/4 to 2 1/2. Laminated MDF table, I believe that says. I'm going to do the last of the Schrade knives that they sent me. We're going to check this thing out real fast. This is the Schrade Slight Compact. I still carry this bad boy, the Uproar. I carry this everywhere with me, and it's got the wear to prove it. It's been poorly sharpened by me a couple times, but it still works like a champion, and that goes everywhere with me all the time. We looked at the bigger version of this already, but actually the smaller one, I think, considering basically just sheet metal, super thin, super little. You won't even feel that in your pocket. It's got a real slight clip on it. Love it, man. The other one, the bigger version, I love too. Opens real fast, closes real easy, one-handed, not bad. Hopefully Schrade sees it in their hearts to send down some new stuff for us to check out, because these made in the USA Schrade knives are pretty freaking nice. Even though this one's very basic, I like it. Let's see what's in the box here. I don't think this has been opened. I think it just, caught with a little foul play. But this looks like the original layer of tape on here, so I think we'll be okay with this. We got metal legs. One thing I didn't like about the skill, honestly, is the amount of freaking plastic. It was just brutal. Got some thick sheet metal legs on this. It's about 14 gauge on the legs on that sheet metal. That looks pretty nice, actually. They're nice and heavy. They got a plastic or rubber foot on them. Got our instruction manual. Harbor Freight, I think, has done a little bit better with the manuals. I mean, not crazy better, but there's actually some usable information, I think, in these now. Powder coating on these is pretty darn acceptable, honestly. Looks nice. We got a box of little stuff here. I'll take that apart off screen so you don't have to watch me do all the little parts. And then we'll just look at them all together. We got another bag, hardware and such. So here, let me pull all this out of here, and we'll do this in a nice orderly fashion. So here's what we're working with. We got 4 legs, 2 feather boards. We got the one for the miter slot, and then the one that attaches on the fence. We got our little throat plates, they're plastic. We got the power supply switch with 2 outlets on it. There's this little plastic guard, 3 bags of hardware over here. Instruction manual, there's the skill we're going to use. Cheap plastic miter gauge. Cheap plastic, nice scale on it. They put like a plastic insert in there, tape or something. We have a nicely marked, nice looking table. It's got what I would call T-slot, this stuff from like arcade machines on the edge here, but it's finished nice. Looks nice. Plastic table insert. Little flex, not much. It is not sitting flush right here, but there are 8, it would appear, leveling screws that are Allen all the way around this thing, so I'm pretty sure we can get that out, but we'll check. First up, we'll put our power box on. You got 3 holes. Came with 3 little screws and nuts already installed in here, so you just gotta take them out. Phillips head on the front, 10 mil in the back. If you hear me sniffling at all in this, I apologize. My voice sounds weirder than it usually does. It's because I'm fighting something off. It is obviously a losing fight, man. When you got kids, there's just no end. You got this guard right here we have to install. You got 3 little wood screws that came in within a bag. It's like a bag in a bag. So 3 holes to install these. Then the legs go on. You got 4 inserts here, 4 little machine screws. I'm not sad that this is all Phillips head, to be honest with you. It makes it pretty easy. All you need is a screwdriver to put this thing together. And it's really, if I wasn't filming this, I'd already be cutting something probably. This is pretty simple stuff. But we got to figure out the router and that plate. Hoping that router works. I mean, Harbor Freight's down the road from my house. It's just a minute or so, but why spend another $100 if you don't have to, I suppose. There is a nice chart here of popular routers. 2 skills are listed. Neither of these is my model number. These are probably older models, I bet. But you got Rigid, Porter Cable, Hitachi, Makita, a bunch of Craftsman, Bosch. All the popular suspects are on there. So it tells you where to mount it, what holes to use along here, which is nice, but we'll see. Both skills use the same mounting holes. Maybe mine does the same. We'll find out here in a sec. I won't bore you with the rest of the legs. This is literally as simple gets. You got a few more screws here, mounting screws, a couple knobs. That's it. I had high hopes for this one. Simple, cheap. That's where Harbor Freight excels. The plastic insert, we'll see. A little blue Loctite on these. Just a little smudge of it. There's our insert. Metal inserts for the leveling screws to sit on. That's nice. Obviously, we don't want that sitting on the wood. So this worked out perfect. Here's the plate and screws from my router. And then Bauer provided 2 different screws. You got these that fit in these 3 holes here. They are A2, 4, and 6. It's marked on the other side here. And they align perfectly. What's even better, so you got A6 right there, A2, A4 right there. The nice thing is this hole next to it is my height adjustment. So without even drilling a hole in this plastic plate, I'll be able to use an Allen to adjust the height of the router without reaching underneath, just to unlock it, but that's it. So included in the kit was the ones we're going to use, the smaller ones, and then these big ones too. I don't know what those are for. Maybe that's a Bosch router thing, I don't know. Nicely mounted in there, no trouble. It's about the easiest thing I've done on this channel. Setting this thing up. And just drop it down in there. There we go. We can level the plate. And I guess we could put it either way. It doesn't really seem to matter which way we put it. Screws are going to line up either way, so it doesn't matter. 2 screws hold it down. We'll plug it in. We'll make sure everything works. Yeah, just a little bit of tweak here and there. A little high on this side. This is plastic, and it's not 100% flat. I can see light poking through in random spots here, so we're not going to get this perfect. It is what it is. But we should be able to get it pretty darn close up a little bit there. I don't want to bore you with this too much, but eventually you'll get it flat. You just got to play with it. Last but not least, we'll just put our bolts on. So, got 2 of these. They go in the slots here. All right, so I threw a little V-groove bit in there just so we could turn this thing on. Here's our insert choices. Very cheap. I mean, very cheap, but it is what it is. There we go. Sits flush enough. Feels flush. All right, I plugged it into the Matco toolbox. I've never done that before. We'll see how that plays out. Beautiful. This thing's nice. It's very solid. I'm pretty impressed. Let's give it the quick walk around. There really isn't much to talk about with this one because we're just reviewing the table and not the router itself. If you want to see the review of the router, I'll post it at the end of this one. You can have a look at the skill table, the router table with that router. So we have a reset button covered in like a rubber housing here on this side. And then we have our on switch and our off switch. It has a pull away key. So if you have young kids at home or an orange cat you don't trust, you can lock this thing down. It just pops back in there and works again. 2 power plugs under here. We have one for our router and then one, assuming, for a dust collector or a vacuum, which we'll try out. It's on the bottom here, which makes it a little hard to see. It's over here. There we go. So 2 there, 15 amps max on the outlets on this. Bottom of each leg has a cutout, so you can fit a clamp on here very easily. Lots of space for clamping, and there's a hole pre-drilled in each of them, so if you want to permanently bolt this to a table or something, you can do that pretty simple. Tabletop has a nice 1/16 scale, which they tell you, which is nicely marked at every 16th here for a full 32 inches. You also get fairly nice markings. We'll see how long this stuff lasts. It generally doesn't seem to last forever, but I haven't used this one yet, so. Got a standard 3/4 miter slot on this. Seems to work fine, but totally standard. Here's the one for the big skill saw, the 10-incher, which is behind me right now, and that fits, works just fine. Our plastic guard has articulating. It's got a joint right there, and then if you want to flip it around, seems to work fine. The fence itself is slotted, and then we have the slots in the table, giving us about 4.5 inches of travel forward and back, if the scale here is to be believed. But you get a fair amount of travel. There's a single knob back here to adjust your outboard fence panel, and it'll extend a 1/4 inch, tightening this one little plastic knob down as much as I can, and we still have quite a bit of flex here. So I suspect, just like the skill fence, there'll be some snipe when we try to joint with this, but we'll find out. Dust collection board, I thought they said was 2.5 inches, but the outside is just under 3 inches. Inside is about 2 1/4. Inside of the little one, about 1 1/4. And neither of us can see that, but it's about just a little over 1.5 inches on the outside of the small one. So I don't know who this is made for, but obviously my 2.5 inch dust collector doesn't fit over this, and this is the end of the hose for my rigid vacuum, and it just barely press fits on the outside of that one. I mean, it's on there by, it's got like 1 millimeter on there, but I guess that's good enough as long as it stays there while we're working. But yeah, strange dust port sizing on this. The rail here is oversized. The slot is 1/4 inch, but I don't even know if I can measure that. The opening itself is about 7/8 here, so just some stock guides won't grab on the inside here. Carriage bolts on the back of the included feather boards will work just fine. We'll run this little chunk of red oak just as an example here. All right, well, first cut I'm going to show you. Put a little chamfer on the end of this block. This is just straight red oak. See how it does. Looks good. Changing the bit's easy. There's a couple slots here so you can get your plate out. This hole right here for my router is the adjuster, the height adjustment hole. So this is a 4 Allen. I just have it on a ratchet breaker bar. Obviously I flipped the latch to release the motor so I can crank this up, and should be plenty there. On my router, it's got this little cover plate here, which I left on because I think it helps with dust collection. And then I'm gonna have to reach under here and press the button to lock this. The table seems to work just like any budget table would, and I'm pretty pleased with what I see so far. The only real downside here is gonna be jointing, I think, because of that wobbly fence, but that seems to be Just the way they design these cheap ones. I don't know why. There we go. And we'll set our height and we'll run another demo. Not my best work, but there you go. All right, we'll run it through jointing it. We're gonna take off maybe a 16th or so, just a little tiny bit. We got this pine board. Let's give it a shot. Actually did not half bad. I got through there without sniping the hell out of it. I'm actually kind of surprised and impressed. This corner's bent pretty good just from when I cut it off, it dropped it. Second one here and see how they line up. I stand corrected, it did fairly decent, at least in this test. Not perfect, but probably, yeah, you can see on the ends. Couldn't see it by looking at it. Not bad in the middle. Better than I did with the skill demonstration though, a few years ago when we did that one. So what do you guys think for the low price that they charge for this? I think it's a pretty good deal. My biggest complaint is the knobs on the back here. They're pretty smooth. Your tendency obviously is to tighten them real tight, and once they're tight, they're hard to get loosened up. They're slippery, they're little, and there isn't a clearance to get your finger under them on the back here. So that's my biggest complaint. This thing, I didn't even clamp it down. It is heavy enough to be stable and sticks to the table. The movement you see here is the table and the casters, and not this sliding around on the tabletop. It's heavy enough to be stable, but light enough to be easy to move around. It's actually pretty nice for the money. I'm happy with it. 32 inches, I feel, for a little router table is a sufficient width. I don't care much for the ones that are shorter. The Skill's a little shorter, the Cobalt was shorter. I think it's a fairly good deal for under 150 bucks, but you guys tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.